Hello everybody, how are you doing? Hope you're all well. I did it. I finally did it. Finally got my own range of t-shirts. Yeah, I got a few emails of people over the years saying if you ever do a t-shirt, blah blah blah, and I never wanted to do a t-shirt. But then I had an epiphany whilst in Patagonia. I wanted to design a nice range of t-shirts for the landscape photographer that wouldn't necessarily be recognisable by anyone other than a landscape photographer, if that makes sense. So I did it, and I'll stick a link somewhere and you can see them. They're pretty good. I'm actually quite enjoying this t-shirt. Right, what we're going to talk about today. I'm having a coffee and we're just going to have a chat. So, just got back from Patagonia. No, that's not true. I got back from Patagonia a few weeks ago actually. And since then, I've been to Mull in Scotland. Those videos are coming up. You have to watch them, honestly. Well, I haven't actually started editing yet, but I think they're going to be really good. And then I've been on a holiday with my wife, and now I'm back here in the office, and tomorrow I go to Photo Pills Camp in Menorca, so busy schedule ahead. Yeah. So I got back from Patagonia, and pretty much all of the videos, they're all done. But there's quite a lot actually that I didn't film, and I just wanted to go through some images, some of which may be my favourite images, and that's quite funny because I didn't film them, I didn't vlog them. Although that's not to say I don't have footage. I do, because we had Greg, our camera guy, who's like a wasp on speed and just runs around filming everything, so we do have some footage, so that's good news. But I have some favourites here and I want to talk to you about them. And I don't know, nothing too in-depth I suppose, just a bit of a sit down and a coffee. So let me tell you about this, let me tell you about the most awesome hike ever. It was the hike to Serra Torre. Well, not the hike to Serra Torre, but the hike back from Serra Torre. So I got my reflection image of the mountains, and then that was it. That was the end of the video, that was a wrap, and I stopped filming. But then on the way down, there was all of this lovely frost, this beautiful frost, this hoarfrost covering everything, and all of the autumn colours were in full bloom. And it was the 10-kilometre hike back down to the vehicles that yielded the most images. And it was fantastic. I was like a kid in a playground. In fact, everyone was. And I think this is the first image that I captured, and it was like about 500 meters from the lake Laguna Torre, and there's just single isolated tree, and you can see all of the frost around it and the colors. And I got this shot, and it's okay. I'm not sure if my choice of aperture of f5 was the right choice. I tried to throw the background out of focus, but this particular lens, which is the 70-200 f4 Canon's one, very old lens actually, it's not got very good bokeh. Bokeh. It's not got very good bokeh. It's not got a very good blurry background. So I'm just not too sure if this image works or not. But then further on down the trail, we come across this scene, and this was beautiful. And what got my attention here, more than anything, more than the trees in the center, the colors, was the graduation, the gradient. There we go. The gradient from this deep blue kind of cool foreground, the bottom, where all of the brush and the bushes and everything's completely covered in a hoarfrost, and then you get this nice gradient through to the warm oranges at the top, where there isn't any frost because obviously the cold air sinks, so you only get the frost in the valley floor. And you have these two trees just in the center, and some trees up here just to add that bit of interest, that bit of a focal point. But yeah, it's just that nice sort of gradient from cool blue white, almost bright white, perfect, brilliant white, through to the lovely warm oranges. And that was the second scene along the trail, and that really got me excited. And yeah, I wasn't doing any pieces to camera because we were hiking back, very, very limited with time. And our guide, bless him, had been up since 4 in the morning, and I think he wanted to get back. And we were making him hang around while we photographed all of this wonderful frost. But you know, that's what happens when you guide a photography group. A little bit further down the trail now, the frost has started to disappear, but I noticed this beautiful tree with these very, very deep, rich reds and these silver, bright white fingers, these trees, these branches that reminded me almost of a Japanese scene. And I tried to make this work, but I just couldn't organise the chaos enough. I mean, looking at it, it's okay, I think. I think it's an okay image, but it was so much better in person, in real life, and trying to capture it in an image is very difficult because it's very messy. We've got, got grasses coming up at the bottom. There's no real focal point, but I just love the splash of reds and whites and oranges, and the branches look like lightning bolts almost, and something about it caught my eye, but it didn't quite work, I don't think. However, a little bit further down the trail, probably 5k now, about the halfway mark, and the trail bends around and starts to hug alongside the river. And the river was frozen in places, and you had these beautiful pools of ice surrounding rocks and all of these tiny little autumnal leaves that had fallen from the trees and then covered in a frost, and you can see them here. This was a very difficult image to shoot, not for any technical reason, but blooming just wrestling with my tripod. Could not for the life of me get my tripod in the right position, because if I was to put my tripod on the ice, it would crack the ice. It was very thin, and it would effectively ruin the composition I was trying to shoot, and I'm trying to shoot straight down. And a couple of people have commented on this photograph and just assumed that I placed those two leaves there, which I didn't. And if I did, you would see a thumbprint, because as soon as you touch them, they melt instantly. So no, I didn't place those leaves there. But this scene was, man, there was just so much to be had. I think me and a couple of the guys must have spent a good 45 minutes amongst these frozen boulders, just wandering around looking for compositions and patterns and abstract shapes, and this was the final shot. And here's the thing, yes, you heard it here first. Shot this handheld ISO 320 f5.6, focusing on the leaves, and with live view, and I just kind of leant over with my camera and framed it and fired off the shutter, because I just couldn't get in position with the tripod. I got close to being in position, but it was such an intricate scene that, an inch left or right, or if the angle was off slightly, the whole composition fell apart. So yeah, there we go, handheld shot. And that was a fantastic day, fantastic hike down. And then, this is still the same day, we ended up discovering a location I had never been to before. I hadn't seen any images of it, I hadn't seen it on any location guides or anything like that, and I hadn't seen any of the bigger Instagrammers shooting this particular area in Patagonia. And there's this beautiful river leading up to a waterfall, and the images I got from there were okay. Let me try and paint you a picture here. Let me try and paint the scene. There's me and a few guys and Brendan went for a wander, shall we say, and explore. It's kind of like, oh, that looks interesting way over there, let's go and have a look. Very rarely do these things work out. Very rarely are you greeted with this beautiful scene of majesty and amazing photographic potential. But this was one of those rare occasions where we crested over a hill, rounded a bend, and we were greeted with what could only be described as the Jurassic Park of photography. We've just gone through a proper explore in Patagonia, and look at this. Oh yeah. We have literally found heaven. There was waterfalls, cascades, river, full autumn colours, trees, all different levels. Like, you were scrambling up rocks and onto one level, and then up some rocks to another level, and just every single bend and every twist and turn there was a new scene, and it was too much. It was too much. We only had about an hour there, and it was just like, I felt like a kid again. It was like a kid in a playground. When you're a little kid, and maybe you go to a water park and there's water slides everywhere and a wave pool. It was just like that. Brendan's reaction, because Brendan was about 10 minutes behind us. Brendan's reaction. Oh my God, this was great. And actually, looking back at the images, I didn't really get that many good images. Because I was trying to shoot everything. I was going against my own advice and trying to photograph everything. This is one image that I got Just a straightforward shot of the river and the waterfall at the top there. I've probably over-processed it. I was just playing around, playing with different filters and stuff. But yeah, it's a nice enough image. But the whole scene was just phenomenal. I think I was recording it on my phone as well. So yeah, running around with my phone, saying how amazing everything was. And then I quite like this shot from the same location. And the sun was setting off to this side, so right of frame. Actually, no, I tell a lie. The sun was setting this side, left of frame, but it was hitting some mountains, maybe a couple of kilometers away, and the light was reflecting off the mountains, which are like a deep red color because all the autumn colors, and it's reflecting back onto these trees here, and you can really see it in the tree trunks. You can see that golden light and how the leaves and the yellow foliage is really glowing. So this nice little square vignette of these two trees perched on a cliffside, beautiful colour, lovely light, very simple scene, and I was instantly attracted to it. I thought it was fantastic, and this is an area that I will be, well, certainly me and Brendan will be spending a lot more time there next year and exploring it and having more than just an hour, because it was just phenomenal. That's all I can say. So excited to go back there and rediscover a brand new location. And yeah, I don't know, maybe it has been shot before, but I hadn't seen it. You know, I've seen a lot of images from Patagonia, and that's an area that I hadn't seen, and that was incredibly exciting. Horse, man, how can I? Yeah, sorry, this is a new day now. A new day. Now, I'm gonna be honest. I'm not really much of an equine, not much of an equestrian. I'm not much of a horse photographer, but when you see these beautiful horses in the meadows with the cuernos in the background and the most sublime light you have ever seen in your life, I just couldn't resist, and I really love this photograph. Again, I wasn't filming it here, we just pulled alongside the road. It was an opportunity, an opportunistic photograph. And just the colour of the horse and the overall tone of the image and the background and the subject. You know, I don't shoot horses very often, I have to say. But you know. I'm going to finish this image with what could be arguably my best photograph from the trip, or at least the best photograph that I didn't record. And wandering around on a miserable day, moody, grey, cold, windy, horrible day. You couldn't even see the mountains, just forget about it. Me and a few guys went for a walk around a small lake, surrounded by grasses and those famous dead trees that you get in Patagonia because of the 2011 forest fire. And I remember we were searching for compositions using these trees, and we came across this one single tree, and there was nothing too special about the tree, but what was amazing was the background and the simplicity. And again, I don't use this term very often, but fine art. You know, if I was to, somebody said to me, Tom, give me a handful of fine art images, please, then this would be one of them. And it's this tree, this lone dead tree, but look at the background, the beautiful layers of yellow, gold, green, sort of almost like a rusty amber red colour at the top. And it doesn't look real. It's the most perfect background, I find. I absolutely love it. And I had trouble with this strip of water here. It was reflecting the sky, so I threw on a polarizer. Before the polarizer, this was just a white strip as it reflected the sky, but you can kill reflections by spinning the polarizer, and then it made it into a dark strip, and it was totally subdued, and it was fantastic. But yeah, these bands of colours in the background, and this beautiful tree that just seems to expand and reach out, and it was such a simple composition, so simple, minimalist, nothing to it, and it's the kind of photography that I absolutely love. And like, dare I say it, but a simple tree with a background like this appeals to me more than, you know, big mountains and epic lights, or something like this image here, which is nice, but there's a lot going on there. You know, there's a lot going on, and it's nice, and I really want to explore the area more. But this is what I strive for. And some people get it, some people don't. But for me, it's just one of those images that I think I'll enjoy for quite some time. So yeah, there we go. That is officially Patagonia 2019, finished, done with. I will be talking about it no more, and there'll be no more videos. But I just wanted to show you some of the images, because like I say, I don't film everything, but I do like to share my work. And you should go and check out these t-shirts. I think I've got like 3 designs at the minute, but I'm thinking now, you know, the cogs are spinning and I'm getting more ideas, and a few of them are based around filters, because, you know, I love a good filter. So there you go. Go and check them out, and that is all I have to say. My coffee is about done, which means this video is about done. Next videos coming up. I go to Mull with a few guys who you'll know, and if you watch my next video on, what day is it? Yeah, so it's Sunday today, so if you watch the video on Wednesday, which is me travelling to Mull, you have to stick around. You have to stick around to the end of that video. I can say no more. Although if you follow me on Instagram, I'll probably give away some sort of teaser. But stick around to the end of that video. Right, I'm gonna go, because this is dragging on. I hope you've enjoyed these images, hope you've enjoyed the series, and remember to tune in next time on Wednesday and stick around until the end of the video. There we go. And yeah. Alright. Bye 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 bye.